Hello, my name is Ilona and today it's Monday, September 4th, 2023 and I have decided to change a little bit in a way that I will be looking more at different subjects in my English videos as opposed to my Dutch videos. Usually I would do the same videos, but it's now very specifically, I was looking at the politicians in the Netherlands, and I'm sure that a lot of you have no idea who Mona is or Omtzigt, and I'm not sure if it's very interesting for you. I just wanted to make a small recap, the energies I've got right now, because we are moving towards the voting, of course, in November the 22nd here in the Netherlands. That they are now coming out with propaganda, with all these new parties that try to fill in the shoes of Rutte, you know, our former prime minister. That's pretty much what they're coming out with now. And I just looked at the energies, and the energies I've got was that we just have to wait and see, but we're moving away from this old system, but the old dark energies are still trying to hold on. So they're the ones behind all these things happening now. But as I've mentioned in my Dutch video, with these two people, Mona, who's now part of the BBB, so there's this farmers party, where of course the background is very dark energy, and if you can just see how they're handling everything with the nitrogen cases, they really are not for the farmers. But she is now going to represent the BBB and trying to get the prime minister function, so to speak. But it's very interesting as Mona and Omtzigt, who actually started his own party, and Omtzigt was very important actually getting this tax scandal about of course, when children were placed out of the house and this was an entire mess. He was really one of the forces behind this to get this out. There was this entire scandal afterwards that they wanted to get rid of him because he wasn't really following along the program. And ultimately he managed to stay because that came out there. It's, of course, for people who have no idea what's going on, it's probably that I'm not aware of everything that's happening in the politicians in America or in other countries. I barely know anything about German politicians. So I'm just trying to recap it as short as possible. But Omtzigt now has got himself a party of his own. And there are a lot of people who are behind him because of what he's done in the past. And that he's actually managed to get accountability in some form about what's been going on with that, with those taxes and with the strange ideas they had, and they just placed people in a certain position, so they lost a lot of money. They had to pay back all this money, and a lot of people got in a lot of problem and lost their children in the system. Some of the children haven't returned yet, things like that. So I think they both have a dark energy background, but they sometimes snap out of their programming, and Mona has done the same. She was actually critical about the past that was introduced the past 3 years, wondering if it really was useful, and that was against the party she was standing for, so she had to leave. She had to remove from the function she was working at that moment in time. So these are two interesting people. And the feeling I got and from the card reading is that they're going to bring in some more interesting background and open people's minds. But I'm not even sure if the voting is actually going to happen here in the Netherlands. I just have to wait and see. I got some extra cards, and again, the military card, the Emperor, popped up. I also want to mention that I'm, of course, not sure if the thing is going to happen in September. A lot of people are waiting for that. And I just want to say, don't wait for it. We know things can happen. I already have messages coming in that a lot of people are seeing military everywhere. I even noticed myself, there were a lot of jets flying around yesterday and the day before that. And a lot of sounds made like something's going on, obviously. We don't know. We shouldn't wait for that. We should just work with our own energies, look at our lives, how we can change that, and that should be our focus. And if something happens, then we are prepared, and otherwise we should just live our lives because we just don't know when things are going to happen. So I just want people to keep that open mind. I already mentioned that in my month when I was looking at the month energy, but it's very important that we just don't wait around for the military to show up. That's not the right energy. at least not in my mind. Of course, I want to take a look in this video, just America, the United States of America. What is the energy there? What is happening? Because so much is happening there. So many people also in Florida speaking out against the new, mask things and not wanting to do that anymore. And of course, we have all these things with Mr. B going on, with his son going on. And it's just the situation is getting dire there. I already talked about, I think it's pretty much the end of Mr. B, but we'll just have to wait what's going to happen. So the energy of the United States of America and the politics there. Let's see. We've got the Hermits. The central card is the Page of Cups. For the past, we have the Page of Wands. We've got the Seven of Wands underneath the Page of Cups. We've got the Four of Cups in the future. And we have the Two of Pentacles in the future. So this is interesting to me. This feels like, especially with these two cards, this is in the past. So the Whiteheads are obviously doing all kinds of things. And they are in a way better position. I believe this is also for Mr. T. He is his position is just getting better and better. More and more people are supporting him. So there's already a change coming in that. And I do think that he's already our commander-in-chief. But things like that still have to come out. But the support of the people is very important. So the Whiteheads are in a better position. That's my perspective. Then the dark energies. They're still trying. Obviously, they are still trying. But they're not going to get anywhere, as we've seen. Everything has backfired. Everything they've tried is backfiring. I do see that the United States, the energy is more of a retreat. So I think they are more focused, and also the people of America more focused on what's going on in their country, what they can do. Things are given to them, to change things. I do believe more and more Americans are actually starting to see that we need to change this different way. We need to go to a different direction. I think that especially the Hermit is finding answers to questions inside of yourself. It's a very spiritual card in a way. And I do think a lot of Americans are returning to spirituality and finding their way in that as well. And we see for the future, they are fed up. The Americans are fed up with this entire political system. There's going to be, they want a balance. There's going to be more balance. I do think ultimately there will be more balance. And of course, we know that the entire thing needs to change. But the American people kind of had it with everything. This is a card of not accepting what's being offered, not listening to the media anymore, watching independent media. We also saw, of course, that hit from, I think, Oliver Anthony, if I'm not mistaken, which is, of course, not supported by the music industry. We see Hollywood falling apart. We see Disney falling apart. And that's necessary to bring in a new balance. But people are fed up. They're not accepting that cup being given to them. They are like, no, we don't want it anymore. And I think that's the best energy that is available now to change things, to see things in a different perspective. So I do think things are happening there. Very interesting. But like I mentioned, the Whiteheads are in a way better position than the dark energies. And whatever they try, it's just going to strengthen the situation and the position of the Whiteheads. This is very interesting. Like I also feel a more spiritual energy. So I think a lot of Americans are really reconnecting with their spirituality or finding spirituality, finding a different way of looking at things. So that's the energy I've got for America. But the interesting is that I've decided to change things a bit. So in my Dutch video, I actually looked at the Dutch politics and also at the coming week energy. And of course, that energy hasn't changed. So I want to use the same cards. But I noticed when I started this video that, of course, need all the cards to start this reading about the USA. And so I was like, oh, right. I need the other cards from the Dutch video for the coming week. So I've got, of course, multiple tarot cards, but these are the smaller ones. So sorry about that, but I put them aside so I could use, of course, all the cards from the bigger deck. And I actually needed this card as well. So that's why I really haven't thought this one through very much, but of course I came up with this solution. So this is for the coming week. We have the Page of Wands. I'm just going to show it more like this. We have the 10 of Cups and we have the 8 of Pentacles. So to me this feels like Whiteheads are working hard to really put this energy, this new energy up, you know, this new world we're heading towards. And I think that some things may seem like they're actually 2-3 steps back, but actually necessary to move things, to how to create movement. So just like with Mar-a-Lago, of course, Mr. T with all these files, and then later on, Mr. B had apparently all these things in the garage. It's all necessary. When they do something to Mr. T or someone else, you can return that, of course, just like what happened with Mr. T and his indictments. Now they can indict other former presidents as well. It opens up possibilities. So some things that may seem like a giant setback could actually later on be very useful. So I do believe this week is going to be very interesting and is really working towards this new world, this new energy, and I think the Whiteheads will make moves this week. And the advice I've got is the Strength card. I've got the 4 of Wands, and I've got the 3 of Pentacles, which is again very positive cards. Now here in the Netherlands the sun is back for a week, so we're really going to enjoy that one. But it's really about stepping back into our strength, our power. And these 2 cards are very interesting. This is about connection, connecting with people, connect with like-minded people. And I believe that is very important to start initiatives if you feel like this. I also mentioned this in my month reading for September, but also in other videos, that working with your energy is very important. Shadow work is really the basis. Shadow and light, you need to balance that inside of yourself. So also enjoy life, make connections, but also start connections, start initiatives. If that feels right to you, if you feel intuitive, you want to do something. In a way, that's how I started these videos. I felt like I wanted to do these videos and I just started doing them about 2 years ago. In I think April 2024, I'm hopefully we're doing it for 3 years, but I just started doing that because intuitively that felt right to me. So if you feel like you want to do something, start something, then follow that feeling, follow that instinct or that insight. And especially this week, you can really find people that connect with you, that can help you further. Maybe you finally meet the people that are necessary. Maybe it's not even connecting with other people. Just start, how do you say this? Starting your own garden, or start to figure out something to grow things in your house, or maybe you want to change some things in your way of how you do your routine or how you handle your body or yourself. This is really a very good week to start changing things, but it's really also about connecting, of course, connecting with yourself. You truly connect with yourself, you can truly connect with other people, and you'll be connected to Mother Earth and in every way connected. But it's really about stepping into our power, connecting, seeing what we'd like to do and start doing it. It's very important that we balance out, of course, not just the inner work, but that we also start acting on it, what we feel inside of ourselves. So this is what I have for this video, and hope to see you in another video. Bye.